Hi, guys. Welcome to my office. I'm Debbie Dadey, and I'm in Tennessee, and I'm glad to join you today. And I hope you're staying safe and staying away from everyone and staying home and enjoying reading during this time. And I am here today to read to you from a Bailey School Kids book with permission from Scholastic. It is the one that what I was asked to read today was Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers. And I didn't even think I should have read an Easter book today, since Sunday is Easter, and I wish you a happy Easter. I will read from my favorite chapter, though, of this book, Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers. And I think the idea for this chapter actually came from my youngest son. He used to love to go into the kitchen and gather up tons of ingredients and make like these amazing concoctions. And so I think that's what happens in this chapter. Eddie and Howie are trying to save their school from Mrs. Rosenblum, who is the new, here she is there. She is the new cook in their school, and they think that she's making a love potion because everybody is like falling in love at their school, and strangely after eating her cookies. So they're going to do something to solve that problem by making an anti-love potion. So that's what happens in this part of the story, and chapter 9 is called Pucker Power. So let me grab my glasses so I can read it better. Chapter 9 of Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers, Pucker Power. Can Howie and I use the kitchen to make something? Eddie asked his grandmother. You're not going to make a bomb or poison, are you? His grandmother said. No, Eddie shook her head. Just some cookie dough. All right, she said, but don't make a mess. Eddie's grandmother wiped her hands on a kitchen towel and went into the laundry room. Before long, the boys heard her humming as she ironed clothes. What does sugar and spice have to do with the cure for Mrs. Rosenblum's love potion? Howie asked. Grandma says that rhyme all the time. It's sugar and spice and everything nice. That's what little girls are made of. Snips and snails and puppy dog tails? That's what little boys are made of. So, Eddie? Howie said, scratching his head. So, what's the opposite of sweet sugar? Eddie asked. Howie looked at Eddie and thought, sour puppy dog tails? He said finally. Exactly, Eddie said, slapping Howie on the back. That's the cure. Puppy dog tails? Howie yelled. I'm not making anything with puppy dog tails in it. Eddie shook his head. We don't need dogs. We're going to make something so sour that love will be the last thing anyone thinks of when they eat it. Eddie pulled jars out of the refrigerator and cabinets along with a big bowl and spoon. If it tastes that bad, no one's going to eat it, Howie said. You just help me make it, Eddie explained. I'll take care of getting them to eat it. So I got me a big bowl. Let's see what ingredients we need. Howie shrugged his shoulders and reached for a bottle. It was vinegar. He poured half the bottle into Eddie's big bowl. Vinegar's disgusting. I tasted it one time, Howie said. That's the spirit. It'll give it pucker power, Eddie said. Let's start mixing the ingredients. Howie stirred the ingredients while Eddie dumped in one thing after another. He added some lemon juice, some garlic powder, and some black pepper. Here's the black pepper. It's too runny, Howie said. We need something to make it stick together. Eddie nodded and looked inside the refrigerator. He pulled out the mustard. There he goes. And after emptying half the jar into the bowl, Eddie said, that looks like cookie dough to me. We can add it to Mrs. Rosenblum's batter and she'll never know the difference. No, she'll know. This stuff is bright yellow and her cookies are red. Here they are mixing it together. This would make them turn orange, Hallie said. I can fix that. He whipped out a big container out of the refrigerator and squeezed it. The bowl quickly filled with bright red ketchup. Howie stirred and he stirred until the mixture was solid red. Howie and Eddie looked in the bowl and smiled. Perfect, they said together. And that's Chapter 9, Pucker Power, from the book Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers. Now, I wonder if that anti-love potion will work or not in this book, Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers. Now, maybe you'll get to try your own experiment in the kitchen, but I hope it's sweeter than this concoction that Eddie and Howie came up with. I want to say hi to the lovely person who suggested that I read this book, and to Miss Fern and her second graders from West Lyon Elementary. And if you have a suggestion of something you would like me to read, I'm going to try reading every Friday at 2:00 Eastern time until the end of May. So I hope you'll join me on YouTube Live every Friday. Next Friday, I've had a request to read aloud from a book that comes out this summer. It was supposed to come out in June, but it's actually not coming out until July now. It's been pushed back a little bit because of the pandemic. And it's called The Winter Princess. And I'll read a little bit from that next week. And it'll be read too before. It hasn't even come out yet, so I'll be reading it prior to its publication. And if you have a suggestion of a story you would like me to read or read from, please send me a suggestion through my website, debbydadey.com, through the comments here if you're able, or have your parents go on Facebook and make a suggestion for me. And I look forward to hearing from them or from you. And did you know today was the day that the Titanic set sail? Isn't that cool? I'm finding out lots of things about the Titanic because I find it very interesting. And you might too. Maybe do some research of your own and write your own stories while you're home from school. And I have a writing part of my website. You're welcome to take a peek, and you might get some inspiration to write your own story about anti-love potion, the Titanic. Who knows? I look forward to seeing you next week at this time. And thanks for joining me today, whether live or later. And good Friday. Have a great Good Friday. Take care. Bye.